Good afternoon. My name is Sergeant First Class Tim Faulkner, and I'm going to relate one of the scariest moments of my life. It had nothing to do with the military, and it happened back in the early 90s. I worked at a fertilizer and grain dealer, and I was at one end of the property mixing up a custom blend of fertilizer. I was driving a loader, and all of a sudden I looked up and I could see people running from behind the warehouse. And I stopped trying to figure out why they were running, and I looked up and I could see a white cloud coming up above the warehouse. The only thing that we had that would produce such a cloud was anhydrous ammonia, and I knew that there had to have been a serious leak. I got off the loader and I started running in basically the same direction everybody else was running, and I took only a few steps and I could not breathe because the anhydrous ammonia had already taken over. We couldn't see it at this point, but it was displacing the oxygen. And that moment that you've heard about where your life flashes before you, that was the first time I ever experienced that in my life, because I did not know which way to run or where to go to get air to breathe. But I knew which way the cloud was coming from, so I tried to run around it, which eventually we all did. We were able to get into some fresh air and start breathing. What had happened is that when somebody went to move a rail car in order to load grade into it, it was attached to the anhydrous ammonia car, and either the brakes were not set on the anhydrous ammonia car or they failed. But either way, when the person went to move the rail car that was going to be loaded with grain, along with it came the anhydrous ammonia car that was being unloaded. It ripped the hoses out of the ground and put a big cloud of anhydrous ammonia into the air. The local fire department responded, but there was only one way in and out of our facility, and they came right into the vapor, and so they had to turn around and back out. Luckily, we had some people there that on the staff that were able to get around the rail car, get up on it, and get the valve shut off and stop the leak. But it was indeed one of the scariest moments of my life.